Hey.
Hi. So I wanted to follow up about my niece.
Yes.
She's been using the vetiver and helichrysum before bed, following the protocol that you suggested for overcoming her trauma.
Right.
And the question was to help her be able to increase her focus. So
Right.
she said that um, the vetiver and helichrysum just totally either abates or gets rid of. She has no anxiety and no depression for 23 hours. She said just before she's a college student, so she's going to bed pretty late. She says she usually applies it and sniffs it around 11 p.m. She said
Mhm.
maybe within 15 to 30 minutes before that, she has a little twinge of anxiety, but that's it. So she's very pleased with that part, but it's not helping her focus.
Not helping her focus, but the anxiety is going down.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we know her fatigue levels? Is she like real tired? Is she real fatigued?
Um, yeah, she spends for a
She's like
teenager an
studying a lot and
inordinate
doing, yeah.
amount of time in bed.
Okay. And did she have the focus problem before? Like, has this been like a kind of a thing for her, or has it just been recent?
I remember her having it before. I
Yeah,
mean,
I suspect that too.
she's
Um,
classic ADD kid where you're talking to her and you could just see her fade away. You have to call her name and then she can come back to you.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
She's also classic with it with, one of the symptoms of ADD and ADHD is if you're interested in the subject, then you could do it
Yeah,
all day long.
right.
So
I think a majority of the public is that way.
yeah.
um, well, I would say a couple of things here. Like, you know, like the thing that just kind of threw me a little bit is when you said like she checks out and you have to call her back. That's I think a little bit of, like you said, she checks out, and so um let's just talk this out for a second.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, for studying, for like stress, like mental stress, um you could use basil. Like basil is one of the best cerebral like stimulants, right? Like we were just talking about a minute ago, like when somebody has brain fatigue, sage is really good for like, I don't want to say rehabbing the brain, but like fortifying the brain so that it can function better. But sometimes even when you fortify it, still things just aren't firing like they should. Or sometimes people are more like sensitive or more aware and not focused,
Mhm.
and so they can get very easily overstimulated by the environment, right? So first off, the basal could act as the cerebral stimulant that helps her like kind of process the information. And when you're processing information, it does generate a kind of like mental fatigue, like mental strain, you could say. And so basil is invaluable. I mean, I use basil all the time for that. Like, it's just, if my head starts getting a little fuzzy, I, I mean, I think that could help. The next thing I would go to and like just want to talk out is the potential of using something like cinnamon leaf or cassia, um, for a couple of reasons. For one, it would make her less sensitive. Two, it makes her a bit more outgoing. like thick-skinned. And here, not thick-skinned like people saying things to you and getting your feelings hurt. Thick-skinned in this particular case would be just not being overstimulated by noises, lights, things like that. Like it would actually kind of help with that. And then the other thing with cinnamon and cassia, it is like a general stimulant. Like it stimulates, not like caffeine. It's like it stimulates processes in the body. Like it gets the blood flowing. It gets it like helps to moisturize the eyes, the mucous membranes. It gets you know, just glands functioning. It just stimulates all the processes in the body. And, you know, sometimes when you kind of don't know what's going on and things are just sluggish and not responding, you throw it either at it like peppermint or cinnamon. And in this case, I would say cinnamon. Like cinnamon could be, she could inhale it, but, you know, she does the stuff at night. She could do the cinnamon in the morning. Like the cinnamon would help give her strength and endurance through the day, strengthen the brain, not let her be too overstimulated by all of that. That's a good combination. Like you could even do the basil and the cinnamon, you know, in the morning. She could use the basil all throughout the day, but cinnamon more in the morning. The thing with the checking out, sometimes that is, you know, it can be a coping mechanism, but it also can be like a circulatory issue. And sometimes the arms and legs maybe aren't getting the circulation that they normally would. And you wouldn't really know other than you start seeing things like that, like a little bit of like checking out. And because like when the blood is off in the arms and legs, it will throw blood supply off in the brain. And so the cinnamon should help. A lot of times with something like that, I have people put like spikenard or vetiver on the limbs, like on the arms and legs, and she could do that at night. I mean, that's a possibility, but I'm going to say something a little different here, and we'd have to step out of the arena of essential oils and look at a particular herb. And the herb that I would say is this herb called Gotu Kola. Gotu Kola, Gota and then Kola. And here's the rationale. Is it is like toning to the circulation. More importantly, it's toning to the veins. And it helps like move the blood from the limbs and gets blood, you know, moving back towards the heart, and it helps to tonify the blood vessels so that the circulation happens naturally. But it also helps to offset the lack of oxygen that can happen in the brain, and it's very good for mental function. It's very good for the brain. Like it's not like you feel like, oh, I have so much energy, I can process everything. You just feel like kind of like, I feel clear, like I feel mentally good. Like you could throw something at somebody and they go, yeah, I could deal with this. Like, you know, it's not like it's makes you feel like peppy, but it makes you feel like just solid. You know what I mean? And I would probably, like, how much does she weigh? Like, is she little? Is she?
No, she's a
taller?
big girl. She's
I would probably do 3 or 4 capsules, like 1 to 2 times a day. Like like in the morning and at night, just, and she'll probably notice a difference in about 2 days. Like it might the first day, but like within a week, she probably won't go, oh yeah, I like totally feel better. She'll just be engaged in what she's doing, and she won't think about like, I don't feel good. Like it will just be, yeah, I'm doing stuff. You know, it's almost like that, if that makes sense. So just to recap, I would still probably do basil or cinnamon or possibly both. And then I honestly, I would not worry about the arms and the legs. I would go to Kola.
okay.
And she could pick that up at any health food store, get it in capsules, not tincture. she could get it at probably any health food store or just go online to Amazon and she could have it in 2 days.
And continue with the vetiver and the helichrysum.
Yes,
right?
definitely continue with that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you
then just
so much.
the application for the cinnamon and basil.
Oh, you can inhale, but I would put like a drop or two in water and drink them both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Greg.
You're so welcome. Keep me posted on that.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah.